Shall we start? Who wants to read?
Yes, I may start. If anybody is
Oh,
willing, okay, otherwise I'll do.
no, no, we'll put our names and then we'll follow the order. No problem. Yeah, you start, you start.
Okay, okay. Building a compass. We have just three questions for you. What is your name? What is your quest? What is the airspeed? What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? If you are like most people, it was probably easy to answer two of these three questions. We all know our names, and a simple Google search can give us the other answer 24 miles per hour. For all of you hardcore Monty Python fans, that velocity is for a European swallow. So let's talk about the question that is a little bit harder. What is your quest? It is not hard to imagine that if we added up all the hours spent trying to figure out life, for some of us, they would outweigh the hours spent actually living life, really living life. We all know how to worry about our lives, analyze our lives, even speculate about our lives. Worry, analysis, and speculation are not our best discovery tools, and most of us have, at one time or another, gotten incredibly lost and confused using them. They tend to keep us spinning in circles and spending weeks, months, or years sitting on that couch or at a desk or in a relationship trying to figure out what to do next. It is as if life were this great big DIY project, but only a select few actually got the instruction manual. This is not designing your life. This is obsessing about your life. We are here to change that. And the questions we are ultimately asking are the same ones the Greeks started asking in the 5th century BC. And we have all been asking ever since. What is the good life? How do you define it? How do you live it? Throughout the ages, people have been asking the same questions. Why am I here? Yes, scroll please. What am I doing? What does it matter? What is my purpose? What is the point of it all? Life design is a way for you to figure out your own answers to these perennial questions and to figure out your own good life. Dave's answers to why am I here and what am I doing and why does it matter are going to be different from Bill's answers, and our answers are going to be different from yours. But we are all asking the same questions, and we can all find answers from our own lives. In the last chapter, you answered one of our favorite questions: how is it going? A question we often ask in our office hours. If you filled in your life design dashboard, you now know where your gauges are full and where they are running on empty. And knowing what is on your life design dashboard is the first step in designing your life. The next step is building your compass. Building your compass. You need two things to build your compass: a work view and a life view. To start out, we need to discover what work means to you. What is work for? Why do you do it? What makes good work good? If you discover and are able to articulate your philosophy of work, what it is for, and why you do it, you will be less likely to let others design your life for you. Developing your own work view is one component of the compass you are building. A life view is second. Now, life view may sound a bit lofty, but it is really not. Everyone has a life view. You may not have articulated it before, but if you are alive, you have a life view. A life view is simply your ideas about the world and how it works. What gives life meaning? What makes your life worthwhile or valuable? How does your life relate to others in your family, your community, and the world? What do money, fame, and personal accomplishment have to do with a satisfying life? How important are experience, growth, and fulfillment in your life? Once you have written your work view and your life view and completed the simple exercise that follows, you will have your compass and be on the path toward a well designed life. Don't worry, we know that your work view and life view will change. It is obvious that the work view and life view you have as a teenager, as a young college grad, and as an empty nester will all be substantially different. The point is, you don't have to have it all figured out for the rest of your life. You just have to create the compass for what life is about for you right now. Parker Palmer, a renowned educational reformer and author of Let Your Life Speak, says that at one point he suddenly realized he was doing a noble job of living someone else's life. Parker was emulating his great heroes, Martin Luther King, Junior Gandhi, both great social justice leaders of the 1950s and 60s. Because he valued their sentiments and goals, he set his path in the world by their compass, not his own, and worked hard to change the educational system from within. He earned a PhD at UC Berkeley and was on track to reach his goal of becoming a respected university president. That was all well and good, but Parker hated it. He came to the realization that he could be inspired by people like Martin Luther King and Gandhi, but that didn't mean he had to walk their same path. He ended up redesigning his life as a thought leader and writer, still working for the same goals, but in a way that was less about imitation and more about authenticity. The point is, there are lots of powerful voices in the world and lots of powerful voices in our heads, all telling us what to do or who to be. And because there are many models for how life is supposed to be lived, we all run the risk, like Parker, of accidentally using someone else's compass and living someone else's life. The best way to avoid this is to articulate clearly your own work view and life view so we can build our own unique compass. Our goal for your life is rather simple: coherency. A coherent life is one lived in such a way that you can clearly connect the dots between three things: who you are, what you believe, what you are doing. For example, if in your life view you believe in leaving the planet a better place for the next generation and you work for a giant corporation that is polluting the planet, but for a really great salary, there is going to be a lack of coherency between what you believe and what you do. And as a result, a lot of disappointment and discontent. Most of us have to make some trade offs and compromises along the way, including some we may not like. If your life view is that art is the only thing worth pursuing, and your work view tells you that it is critical to make enough money so your kids have everything they need, you are going to make a compromise in your life view while your children are dependent and at home. But that will be okay because it is a conscious decision which allows you to stay on course and coherent. Living coherently doesn't mean everything is in perfect order all the time. It simply means you are living in alignment with your values and have not sacrificed your integrity along the way. When you have a good compass guiding you, you have the power to cut these kinds of deals with yourself. If you can see the connections between who you are, what you believe, and what you are doing, you will know when you are on the course, when there is tension, and when there might need to be some careful compromises, and when you are in need of a major course correction. Our experience with our students has shown that the ability to connect these three dots increases your sense of self, and that helps you create more meaning in your life and have greater satisfaction. So now it is time to build your compass and set out on your quest. Right now, your quest is simple and it is not to find the Holy Grail. Your quest is to design your life. We may all want the same things in life: a healthy and long life, work we enjoy and that matters, loving and meaningful relationships, and a hell of a lot of fun along the way. But how we think we will get them is very different. Work view reflection. Write a short reflection about your work view. We are not looking for a term paper here, and we are still not grading you. But we do want you really to write this down. Don't do it in your head. This should take about 30 minutes. Try to shoot for 250 words, less than a page of typed writing. A work view should address the critical issues related to what work is and what it means to you. It is not just a list of what you want from or out of work, but a general statement of your view of work. It is your definition for what good work deserves to be. A work view may address such questions as why work, what is work for, what does work mean, how does it relate to the individual, others, society? What defines good or worthwhile work? What does money have to do with it? What do experience, growth, and fulfillment have to do with it? In the years during which we have been helping people with this exercise, we have noticed that a work view is pretty new idea for most people. And we have noticed that when people get stuck on this exercise, it is because they are just writing down what they are looking for in a job or an employment situation, which is a job description. For this exercise, we are not interested in what work you want to do, but why you work. What we are after is your philosophy of work, what it is for, what it means. This will essentially be your work manifesto. When using the term work, we mean the broadest definition, not just what you do to make money or for a job. Work is often the largest single component of most people's waking lives, and over a lifetime, it occupies more of our attention and energy than anything else we do. Accordingly, we are suggesting you take the time to reflect and articulate what work and vocation mean to you, and perhaps what you hope work means for others as well. Work views can and do range widely in what they address and how they incorporate different issues such as service to others and the world, money and standard of living, and growth, learning, skills, and talents. All of these can be part of the equation. We want you to address what you think is important. You do not have to address the question of service to others or any explicit connection to social issues. However, the positive psychologist Martin Seligman found that the people who can make an explicit connection between their work and something socially meaningful to them are more likely to find satisfaction and are better able to adapt to the inevitable stresses and compromises that come with working in the world. Since most people tell us they long for satisfying and meaningful work, we encourage you to explore the questions above and write down your work view. Your compass won't be complete without it. Yes, Mansi, you want to read?
Actually, I'm in the middle of something, so if anyone wants to take up or you want to continue, it's okay.
I'll take up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life view reflection. Just as you did with the work view, please write a reflection on your life view. This should also take no more than 30 minutes and be 250 words or so. Below are some questions often addressed in a life view just to get you started. The key thing is to write down whatever critical defining values and perspectives provide the basis for your understanding of life. Your life view is what provides your definition of what have been called matters of ultimate concerns. It's what matters most to you. Why are we here? What is the meaning or purpose of life? What is the relationship between the individual and others? Where do family, country, and the rest of the world fit in? What is good and what is evil? Is there a higher power, God, or something transcendent? And if so, what impact does this have on your life? What is the role of joy, sorrow, justice, injustice, love, peace, and strife in life? We realize that these are somewhat philosophical questions, and we did just mention the G word. Some readers will see God as unimportant, others may have wanted us to address this upfront as the most important issue. You have probably figured out by now that design is values neutral and we don't take sides. The question, including the ones about God or spirituality, are given to provoke your thinking, and it's up to you to see which ones you want to try to answer. They are not talking points for religious or political debates, and there is no wrong answers, no wrong life views. The only way to do this incorrectly is not to do it at all. Besides that, be curious and think like a designer. Ask the questions that work for you, make up your own, and see what you discover. Write down your answer. Ready, begin. Coherency and work view, life view integration. So basically, work view, life view, they have given these prompts and then this integrated prompt. And finally, in the summary, they have summarized this as to an activity or an exercise which we have to do to reflect back on what is our work view, life view, and how do they integrate. Read over your work view and life view and write down a few thoughts on the following questions. Please try to answer each of the questions. Where do your views on work and life complement one another? Where do they clash? Does one drive the other? How? Please take some time to write up your thoughts on the integration of your two views. Our students tell us that this is where they often get the biggest aha moments. So please take this part of the exercise seriously and give the integration some thought. In most cases, this reflection will result in some editing of one or both of your views. By having your work view and your life view in harmony with each other, you increase your own clarity and ability to live a consciously coherent, meaningful life. One in which who you are, what you believe, and what you do are aligned. When you have got an accurate compass, you will never stray off course for long. Please scroll up. True North. So now you have an articulated and integrated life view and work view. Ultimately, what these two views do is give you your true north. They create your compass. They will help you know if you are on course or off course. At any moment, you can assess where you are in relation to your true north. It's rare that people sail beautifully straight through their beautiful lives, always looking beautiful. In fact, as all sailors know, you can't chart a course of one straight line. You tack according to what the winds and the conditions allow. Heading true north, you may sail one way, then another direction, and then back the other way. Sometimes you sail close to the shoreline to avoid rough seas, adapting as needed. And sometimes storms hit and you get completely lost, or the entire sailboat tips over. These are the times when it's best to have your work view and your life view handy to reorient yourself. Anytime you start to feel your life is not working or you're going through a major transition, it's good to do a compass calibration. We do them at least once a year. Rotate your tires. Change the battery in your smoke detector. Double check your work view and life view and make sure they align. Anytime you are changing your situation or pursuing a new thing or wondering what you are doing at a particular job, stop. Before you start, it's a good idea to check your compass and orient yourself. Now that you have your compass, it's time to find your way. This is a quest after all. Dysfunctional belief. I should know where I'm going. Reframe. I won't always know where I'm going, but I can always know whether I'm going in the right direction. Please, Kodra. Try stuff. Work view, life view. So we have to write a short reflection about your work view. This should take about 30 minutes. Shoot for about 250 words, less than a page of typewriting. Write a short reflection about your life view. This should also take no more than 30 minutes and be 250 words or so. Read over your life view and work view and answer each of these questions. Where do your views on work and life complement one another? Where do they clash? Does one drive the other out? So, if people are interested, can we take 2 minutes and try and attempt writing this? Maybe we will not be able to finish, but if there are any doubts and any points which come up, then we can discuss that. Is it okay? Can we take 2 minutes?
I'm okay, but I'm not personally will be able to write because I'm listening and I'm in the middle of something. But what I would also say is, uh, like, does 2 minutes will be okay? Otherwise, do we want to do it in a flow? Because it will only be like a starter, and it might break the flow of the writing. Like, I don't know if what will work for whom. Like, everyone can collectively decide on that.
Okay, anyone interested in doing this now or we do it later? What do you all say?
But I would highly recommend everyone doing it, if not now, even at least in the day's time, because this will very much define and help you understand the book further. As I've done the course, I know where it will lead us. So I'm just telling you, it will really help you and make a lot of difference. So it is very important that we all do it. I have already done it once, so I know, and I'm just telling all of you, like, if you want to really like, if you feel you may not end up doing it after the session, maybe it's a good idea to, as Manisal was suggesting, just give 2 minutes and get it started. So when we start something, somewhere in our mind, we want to close the loop. So there are higher chances of you sitting on it and actually doing it later, because somewhere you just started with it. So maybe I think, Maniselvi, let's do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so let's take 2 minutes. Yeah, Anjali.
Yeah, I even I was saying that we should go and see the questions, because like when you ended the topic that time, I couldn't relate all those, I couldn't remember those questions as well. So it would be a quick revision sort of thing about the work view and the life view, the questions we should think before writing, and so it would be a good way. Like we should go and revise once.
Yes,
Now,
Maniselvi, you can elaborate a little bit how and some example type how and what to write.
Okay. So what I would suggest now, Maniselvi, if it's okay with you, you facilitate this and let others write it. Like, you just take them through the questions and make them reflect, and then they are writing and you are facilitating. If that is okay with you, maybe you will not get to write, but you'll have to do it later on your own, something like that. Like, if that works, or even I can do
it's
it, but
okay. Now she can also write, but once we are taking time, no, but just hardly 10
so
15
we
seconds
can do
also
it
she
this way
can.
also. We have 30 minutes left. So today, if we all are okay, we can dedicate the remaining time to this only, like 15 minutes types, or where we
Don't
go
fix
through
a
the
time,
questions.
Mansi. Let her start. Let Maniselvi start, and we'll see how it proceeds. And let her explain the questions, because a kind of revision is important, so that we'll be able to correlate everything and combine and write on our own. Obviously, we'll take
I'm
time.
okay.
We need extra time to write. We cannot write in just 2 minutes. So let us go and revise it once.
What do you think, Mani Selvi? What are your take on this? What is your take on this?
Yeah, I can read through the questions and maybe people can jot down, and if they have doubts, we can discuss it. Because there are no straight answers to it, we can have a standard way of handling it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
good.
So the work view questions that we need to address is why work. So by definition, first, the author says that we have to decide what work is for us. So these questions are there. So why work? What's work for? What does work mean? How
Oh,
does it relate to the individuals, others, society? What
and just share
defines
the screen now. Manisha, we scroll to that page. That would be easy.
51?
Yes,
Page number
Ariane, share the screen. Let me know which page it is.
51 it shows for me here. Further up, further.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does it relate to the individual, others, society? What defines good or worthwhile work? What does money have to do with it? What do experience, growth, and fulfillment have to do with it? So, why work will dwell upon the why that we have. What is the purpose of actually working? What's work for? So, what this further drills it down. What does work mean? Finding your own definition to it. How does it relate to the individual, others, and society? So, we understand uh, how things are from a generic perspective versus what is our personal take on it. What defines good or worthwhile work? So this is again a very personal question. What would good work mean? So for someone it would be just an easy way of working. For some it has to be a bit more exciting, kind of challenging work, new experiences coming in, or they have an idea of a specific work that they have in mind which they want to do. So if
So
they are
does this
getting that
work
kind of
mean earning as well? Like, is it related with earning only, or any kind of work?
any
Even a
kind of
social
work,
work, even a social work is
yeah,
also there, no?
it will include social work as well.
They have mentioned it, na, like when we consider work, you should consider all of what you do. Like it need not be relevant only to your income.
By
So
work.
basically if you see the last point, we are trying to align experiences, growth, and fulfillment. So it is what we are doing meaningful to us, is it worth, and is it somewhere justifying our experience, or whether there is a growth prospect to it. When I say this work I'm doing, is it a growth for me, or how do I look at it? We'll take some 5 minutes. Yeah.
Manasvi, actually, I disconnected for some time. So we need to write these questions or what we need to do?
We need to write answers to this question.
Okay, okay, fine.
Manisalvi, what is the difference between why work and what is work for?
I feel it is for me, why work is basically what is the purpose I am getting out of it, the very end purpose that it's me. And what's work for can be uh, starts with money for me, and then satisfaction and all those things. But
Okay,
why
okay.
is a bit more deeper to it. That is the what is the end thing that I get, or my basic intention behind doing it.
Shall I
Okay.
add to this?
Yeah.
So I feel why work is so what was the question? Why work? What does work mean? Yeah. Why work is basically why do you think you should work? So what is your belief? It addresses your belief. So why do you think you should work? So basically we have different beliefs around work now. So it will take you to your beliefs, to your root belief around it. And
Mm-hmm.
then you can then overall maybe you can maybe tackle it, right? Like if it is like for example someone it could be why work because I want to earn money. For someone it could be because I want to be more satisfied, because I want to challenge my myself, my potential, look for my potential. It could be different for different people, right? Or it could be
Mm-hmm.
all of that. So whatever it is for you, you have to dig in deeper to understand why work. And what was the next comparison you said? What does work mean, or what, like, or what was the next one, Suman?
What is work for and what does work mean? Next to
Actually, you
our.
want to all. Actually, you want to know all three. Yeah.
Hmm.
So what's work for? So it's basically what do you think work is for? Like as a word, if you have to decode work as a word, then what do you think it is for? So or whatever your concept of work is, what it is for? Like so, I feel the questions are a bit tricky
And
for a
interrelated.
reason. Yeah, they are tricky for a reason because you have to take it word by word, and then if you try to think word by word, then you will also get to get different answers out of yourself. That is why
I,
they look similar. They feel as if they are all same, but they're challenging you to think differently with the different kind of framing of those questions. So to go with the question and try to answer it the way it is, that will help you. And what does work mean? So they look similar. So, but you, if you try to decode it differently, you'll get different answers out of you if you dig in deeper. On a surface level, it will look same. So that's what the deeper reflection is about. So give it a try.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I am done answering. Once others are done, then maybe we can discuss.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So next is on life view. So these are broader questions or really, thinking from a holistic perspective. Why are we here? What is the meaning or purpose of life? What is the relationship between the individual and others? Where do family, country, and the rest of the world fit in? What is good and what is evil? Is there a higher power, God, or something transcendent? And if so, what impact does this have on your life? What is the role of joy, sorrow, justice, injustice, love, peace, and strife in life? So basically, if you see that this is first, it's a very broad question. And second is, you have to, they are actually, first, it's more personal, and then they take it to yourself and the outer world as well. And then they are actually talking about the key aspects, relationships between you and the other individuals, and family, country, and the rest of the world. How do they fit in into your life? So it's slowly, gradually widening it from yourself and how you look at things to actually your interpretation of things which are external and the world around you. So, what is good and what is evil according to you? There's a discussion on God also to cover the aspect that some people will have this as part of their understanding about life. And finally, I think to bring in more perspective that these are also important, and how do you figure that out as part of your life? Joy, sorrow, justice, injustice, love, peace, and strife in life. So this actually, if you see joy, sorrow, justice, joy is somewhere not I don't see me identifying much with joy. Sorrow, yes. Justice, injustice, yes. This all seem to trigger some kind of a emotional connect or way you look at life per se, and your reactions. So just try to answer it as best possible, and then we can discuss if you have any questions. Okay, so can we continue on the next part? Final 3 questions.
Yeah, it's about coherency.
Yeah,
No, no questions
coherence.
are shown now, Kura. Okay, yeah. These are the final 3 questions. Yeah, I'll bring
Yeah.
it. So,
So basically, we'll have to just keep both these views side by side and check where do your views on work and life complement one another? Where do they clash? Does one drive the other and how? So this definitely are some deeper questions which we so far would have not maybe regularly checked or reflected. So let's take 2 minutes for this also and then we'll resume. Okay, done, everyone?
Yes, done.
Yes, I am done. Yeah.
Okay, okay, fine.
Mm.
So let's just see what are the key takeaways from today. Anything that anybody would like to share on whatever we read so far? Of course, this whatever activities we did today, maybe you'll have to refine it and do it couple of times to have a clear picture and a better picture. But any takeaways today and how this activity helped you? Please share.
Yes, basically the work view and life view, these are the core areas where we have to align, we have to reflect upon where we stand and what we believe we should do in future. And it's the basic work is whether they are in alignment or not.
Hmm. Yeah. So basically, how you define your life as being well lived and the life that will satisfy you versus what you have right now. I think that comparison is what we did today. So basically, dwelling more into how you are building a meaning about life and whether that is fulfilling to you. Is it matching to what you actually are working on? And is there a difference there that you can identify? Anyone else would like to share?
Hello. Yeah, I'd like to come in.
Yeah.
So, regarding this why work is a very in-depth question. Why I feel so? Because I think it gives us so many answers. This question is so small and short, but it gives us so many avenues and perception that, of course, it's for personal growth and, to get a purpose in life, how we can seek help from others and our own self. We discover things about us which we never knew, and other people's thoughts, ideas, and their suggestions or opinions. So, for one topic, we learn so many avenues, so many things, so many perspectives that it's unbelievably, as I said, an in depth question, which again goes to what's work for. So, has anyone written that? Because, is it overlapping or does it have some other answer?
Both are different.
Yeah.
What I understood. Yeah, both are different. So,
Mm-hmm.
for me, like for this why work, what I have
Mm-hmm.
written is that first thing is to be mentally and physically active and fit. Because an idle mind, if I'm sitting idle, if I'm not doing anything, work not related to anything, but means if I'm not doing anything, I'm not active, I'll be not fit. I won't be fit. So for that fitness, mental and physical both, I need to work. And what's work for? So after whatever I'm doing, it should give me a kind of satisfaction, a kind of happiness or fulfillment, whatever I'm doing. If it is not there, then definitely I'm not happy with that work. So I feel like what is work for? That work means to be giving something fulfilling to me, and that is it. So this is how I have written.
Yeah, fulfillment and also,
So that is, yeah, emotional something, na, that is internal thing, that the kind of feeling I'm getting, that is what is work for. And why work? Because means I have a target, I have a goal. So that is why I'm working, to keep myself fit.
Mm, yeah, yeah, well said.
So what I could understand from this activity is that there are different layers to any definition or anything that you look at. Now, when I say layers, one is that what I immediately can articulate as why work or what is work, or those things that immediately come to my mind. But if I just hold, this is what that comes to my mind versus what deep down I think work is for me, why I actually work. Then there is another layer which might be overlapping or in between, which is something I derive from others, as this is what is work means, right? So my definition might be slightly different, but it has been superimposed by definitions around that work means. No, you go to an organization, you work from so and so to so and so, and that's how. So there are different layers, and if I actually sit and then dwell, I can go to much deeper layers to the meaning that what it exactly holds at an emotional level for me or at a deeper level for me, right? So I can find layers to it as we discuss, and we reflect. I keep reflecting on what I've written. I see, yes, there are differences into the work versus life. It doesn't complement always. But yes, there are deeper things that on reflection I might find. Yeah. So that was my take from the things that we wrote today or the exercises that we did. Anyone else would like to share?
I would like to share, but Anjali, yeah. Anyone else who wants to go first, please.
No, no, it's okay, Mansi. You please go ahead. I'll share later.
Okay, so when I did this exercise for the very first time, I came to a realization that somehow initially before doing the exercise, for me work, I had some different perspectives on work as such that kept me a little dissatisfied in some areas with that. But when I actually did this exercise, I felt, oh, I am actually in coherence, or at least working towards like in the right direction, as they have mentioned. It's like I felt like I am in the direction of my true north, so it doesn't matter, and I felt more coherent with it. And as Manisalvi very rightly said, there are different layers to this, and that happens only when we allow ourselves to sit with ourselves actually and experience some divine insights in the process of writing. This is what I have understood. And in fact, recently I would want to add that recently I'm working on one of the project, personal project, so in which I just started, and I actually, it was obviously by the guidance of a mentor, because of which I started with doing things in a creative flow, which I never did before in that with that seriousness. I maybe it happened naturally at times. So what I would suggest na, like for each one of us here, especially because this is a very beautiful activity and I know the depth of it, so what I would suggest is do this like just as a small exercise, give it a try. Maybe you can start from here, or maybe you can write with whatever you want to. But I'm doing this, and I'm having a very, very, very good experience with it, so I'm sharing it with all. That just do this. Just dedicate yourself any 20 to 25 minutes, if possible. As they have mentioned, 30 minutes, nothing like it. But then, even if you feel that you don't have time or you're very busy, just take out those 20 minutes or 25 minutes in your day. Decide it, decide it for yourself, like at this time, from this much time to this much, say for like from 9 a.m. to 9:20 a.m. or whatever time you feel convenient. So you decide, you sit with yourself. Before you sit down, this is what I am following, and that's how what I'm sharing. So you sit with yourself, you pray. So whatever you believe in, like just pray and get yourself in that zone, and just start writing. Don't stop. The whole idea is you have to write in the flow, and you don't have to allow yourself to stop writing unless the 20 minutes are over. So you can play a soft music if you feel that is more comfortable for you, that keeps you aligned, or you can just write in silence, whatever suits you. But getting yourself in the zone and just write down whatever comes to your mind without lifting the pen. without allowing yourself to stop. And you have to stop only after those 20, 25, 30, whatever minutes, or start with 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you feel right. Maybe you can start with practice. We already did it right now, right? It was like a 5, 10 minutes practice, we can say. So just try with these as a prompts. Maybe each question you can do individually, or you can just take overall, or you can write on life view in one sitting. In the next sitting, you can use work view. It's like a Pomodoro technique. So maybe you can dedicate 1 hour to yourself, and maybe 20 minutes you do this, 25 minutes at a stretch writing without stopping, and give a 5 minutes break. Do some just move physically to breaking the pattern, and then again sit with yourself for the next 25 minutes. And I'm telling you, you will get something on your paper like you have never thought before. So it is something that comes out from the creative flow. And as the authors also mentioned, na, like you many people have asked told that they get aha moments with this exercise. It's because like many a times we have a plan or we have a perspective on things, but there is a divine plan behind everything, is what I truly believe in. And so there is some beyond thing that is beyond our current vicinity of understanding. So we don't tap into that. So many times even that gives us a lot of insight. So this small practice or exercise can work wonders. So I've been trying it, and I've been truly grateful for the experience I'm getting out of it. So I'm just sharing it with all of you. If you want to do that with this activity, it could be a great start, because the prompts are already there in the book, and these are very important and very life changing prompts. I'm telling you, even this one exercise will change your whole perspective about how you look life forward from here. So I would highly recommend doing it whenever you have time, maybe today, maybe during the weekend. But just schedule that in your calendar and just sit with yourself and give yourself to do that as a permission. If you have any resistance, if it is time, if it is whatever, just understand it's pure resistance that is just stopping you from going in deeper. That's it. I would say that. So just wanted to add that.
Yes, a
Sorry.
very good question, that you said this is a prompt. I was just telling Manas Sylvie yesterday that, we can take a prompt after each book or page we read each day, and then that's our homework. If not next day, at least we can put 2 days to it if people are finding that too taxing. And that would really, as you said, when I start writing also, I can't stop, because one after the other, the thoughts are continuously encircling our minds. And that is when we put pen to paper, we realize that, oh, I had so much inside I didn't know. So you recover, yeah, you discover so many things about yourself which you never knew. And then in the
Yes,
same process, you
very
discover
true.
about others. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I know from whatever small interaction we have had. I know Samina, you are into writing, I guess. You are a
Yes.
writer, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that I definitely see that coming from you. But for me, I would say that for me, na, recently I'm exploring this writing side of myself, which I've never
Mm.
done before. And I always believed that no, I am not that's not my thing, or I could not, like, I never tried that, because I have experienced creative flows. I was into painting and other things, creative stuff,
Mm.
definitely from a long almost all my life, but not tried my hands on writing as such. But now, just with a mentor's help, I'm just exploring it, and I'm just amazed what comes out. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I
Mm.
never knew I could do this. And that is amazing feeling. In fact, I would highly recommend everyone to do it. And in fact, you know what, like, what I have realized in this process is that we all have it in us. We just don't give ourselves permission to do that or explore that side of ourselves. And I like one of the mentors, she said a beautiful definition, like a affirmation. So the mentor who is helping us, she has this. I write with one affirmation. She tells us to just do it before we write something. I write with ease and grace. It's a beautiful affirmation. She makes us do that, putting our hand on our chest. But the other, one of the other members shared a different affirmation, which I really connected with. And she said, I don't remember the exact words, but somewhere it was like, I write to I write to connect or find my true self or something like that. I'll just read, I'll just find it and I'll share it in the group, or someone like, but maybe I'll share it tomorrow with all of you. So she said, I write so that I find myself in the process, something like that. It meant something like that, but it was a very short and crisp version of what I said. So I really loved it so much. Actually, many a times now we get in that this thing of, when we want to write, we want it to be all perfect and nice, and we want, because we write from others perspective. But many a times, what if we just see it to write for ourselves, for finding ourselves? That's such a beautiful process. Like, not everyone does journaling, but even whenever you write, what if we just write for ourselves or to connect with our higher self? And that's such a beautiful. So that's what you just shared just connected me to that affirmation that she mentioned. So that really motivates me. Like, whenever I think of that affirmation, it liberates me. Like, it feels like, wow, this is so beautiful. If we just look at writing from this perspective, uh, we would all want to do it. Why not, like, types? So it's so beautiful. Thank you for all your shares and addition, and I'm so happy to hear from you, Samina. It was a wonderful share.
Yeah, because I was just telling you, I attend it late, sometimes. And then I don't get the gist of so I can't even give my feedback. But I made up my mind, to just be here by 2 3. So give my entire time, my focus, my attention here. That would really help me in, being with you all, listening the different perspectives, writing for myself, giving you all prompts if I find some. And initially, I had some, last time when I attended a writers' conference, maybe having somewhere, as you said. If I find, I'll put it up on the group and we can all write that. We can have, 5 days of reading and 2 days, Saturdays. I don't know how you think. I'm just a suggestion. 2 days for writing.
Not all are on the same page over here, so I don't know, like, we can give it a try. But anything that you have other than books, now we have a different group created for it separately, Be for Betterment. So I would highly recommend, please feel
Okay.
free to join in there. The link is there in the pinned messages, so do join, so you can freely share whatever you want, any
Mm.
initiatives, anything in that, and we'll be putting it some structure to that also. It's a very newly created group, so please do that, so that we keep that flow of both the groups on. So just read through the message and you'll know what we mean. And
And I get
if you,
it.
I'll
Okay.
just send it to you personally also. So do join
Uh,
that. And
sure.
any
Yeah,
ideas, anything, we are open for that. Like, more than open. Like, so please do.
sure, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, Manisalvi, I don't know if I took a lot of time. Sorry for that.
No, thanks, Amina, actually, for giving your inputs. It helps us to get different perspectives. Yeah. Anyone else would like to share? Today's was a very short read per se, but it was a bit of a more thinking that we had to do on what we read. So anyone would like to share anything? Please go ahead, or we can call it a day then. Okay. Thanks everyone then for your time. Yeah. So do catch up on, reflecting back on these prompts that were read today, and we'll connect back tomorrow with the next chapter. Yeah. Okay. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you,
See you
Thank
all
everyone.
you,
tomorrow.
Maniselvi.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. See
Thank
you
you,
tomorrow.
everyone. Thank you, Maniselvi.
Thank you.
Mansi, are you there?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
fully here.
Mansi.